Hello, how's it going? This is the first time I'm doing it with Instagram as well as Facebook, so I'm a little discombobulated today. How's everybody doing? I'm going to be looking up and down and up and down. So I have a lot to share today, but I'm going to keep it super brief because here's the thing. There's a lot of information here, and I don't want to belabor it. I don't want to belabor it and have it turn into this bum, bum, bum. We're all going to die because we sit too much. That is just not how I want to present this. However, I do really want to be really clear about what I stumbled across this week. I didn't stumble across it. I knew it, but it really became clear to me this week. So first, I want you to know that we're going to start by talking about sitting. Today we're talking about sitting, the effects of sitting on your health. And we're going to talk about some of the new research that has come forward. And I'm also going to tell you about a 4-day challenge, which we're going to start today, which is Tuesday, and we're going to do it through Friday and see how it lands with you. First, a quick story. I want you to know that I'm a regular gym goer. I move a lot. I like to move. It makes me feel good, and I'm a big fan of moving. But I also do a lot of sitting for my work. I also do a lot of sitting with my family. And I think in my mind's eye, I thought, well, I go to the gym, and so it's going to just, and I'm a mover, so it naturally will counter the effects of the sitting that I do. So I just want to tell you what I learned and how it landed with me based on that. I've never timed myself in terms of sitting like total hours because I know that would freak me out. But first, I want to tell you, before I did this research, just some of the things that we know that come forward when you sit a lot. All right. So these things are increased when you sit a lot. Heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, often anxiety and depression, because some of the sitting is due to being alone a lot, and it's screen-based work. That's me. Low back pain, your hip flexors and your hamstrings get super tight. Then you stand up and that pelvis tilts forward and you start getting a really tight and painful lower back. Deep vein thrombosis, varicose veins, some cancer risks go up. Colon, endometrial, lung cancer, and breast cancer. Okay, that's some serious stuff, okay? Now, let's keep moving along, and we don't want to need to belabor that. Yesterday, I was reading one of the journals that I get, and I was going to do today on talking about some of the myths that are out there about eating and about timing of eating and things like that. But I came across this article, and I was like, whoa. So I'm going to read you what I read, and we're going to talk about how it landed with me. First of all, I want you to know that this study is made available through the Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise. It was based in England. People who sit for many hours, regardless of whether or not they exercise regularly, are at increased risk or higher liver fat levels, a leading contributor to type 2 diabetes. That was the first thing I read, and I was like this. Then it said, data analysis showed that each additional hour of sedentary time was associated with a 1.15% increase in liver fat, independent of other levels of physical activity and of gender. So across the board, it starts to increase fat around your liver. Okay, so me. And then I started thinking to myself how much I sit. And then I start thinking to myself about how I get engrossed in a project, right? And I start to work on the project, and all of a sudden, like 2 hours has passed, and I have just been in it. Give me a thumbs up, give me a high five, if anybody else is like this. Does anybody else like get engrossed in your work, and all of a sudden your 3 hours have, maybe you're not like that, I'm like that. Okay. So then I think the thing that was startling for me was, okay, so I am a regular gym goer, and I am not immune to the effects of this. So then I read this article. This is from the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity. And they did a study. And what they did was they took 2 control groups, and they had one control group that did 5 minutes of activity throughout the day. Yes. And then they did another group that did 30 minutes of activity, like in one fell swoop. Both were great. So let's be really clear. Both of them were great, but there were some things that the 5 minute throughout the day beat the 30 minute in one pop. It lifts your mood, it combats lethargy, it actually keeps you focused and more at attention when you're at work, and it dulls hunger pangs. Both of them were tested in terms of stress hormones. They did blood tests for the people in the group, and neither the 30-minute or the 5-minute throughout the day made a huge dent in the stress level and the hormones. We're going to talk about that at the end. So here's the thing. We sit a lot. I don't know if you want to be the person that starts a timer when you sit down, and then when you stand up, stops this time. Like, do you want to zero base yourself and find out how much you're sitting? I'm guessing I'm sitting around 5-6 hours a day with my work and with my family life. That's my guess. I have not zero based it. That is not okay for me. Even though I'm going to the gym and even though I'm a very active person, it's still, I have an increased risk of an increase in fatty liver. So I got to thinking, maybe we could do something together and see how it goes for all of us. Thumbs up. Here is my thought for the next 4 working days, and not just work, but life. My thought is, how would it land with you if for every hour that you're sitting, that you created a time where alarm goes off, set an alarm to go off hourly, and make it work for you within your day, and we move for 5 minutes. So that's going to mean different things for everybody. It might just mean if you work in an office, you walk around the floor, you walk downstairs, you walk upstairs, you move around. For those of us who work out of our homes, it might be getting our coat on and running outside, going for a walk outside, or doing some yoga. I mean, I have more freedom to do that stuff here. But breaking up our sitting with 5 minutes, this is the ratio, 5 minutes of movement to 1 hour of sitting. Okay, so how's that land with you? Thumbs up again. I think we all need to understand, the takeaway here is that sitting is bad. No. Prolonged sitting can really do a number on your whole system. Okay, now let's talk about stress hormones. Stress hormones are dispersed when you are able to walk hard, bounce, jumping jacks, get into a pose, a yoga pose, and then shake it out. That's a great way to collect and disperse stress hormones. So that was the one thing that this didn't touch. This study didn't touch. The stress levels were not reduced by either 30 minutes or 5 minutes per hour. So let us do that. So if you're going to walk, I want you to think hard walk, okay? If you're going to stretch, hold that stretch, and then shake it out. Let us also, in addition to our 5 minutes of movement every hour, let us also address the stress, okay? It is no surprise to me that that it's colon cancer, endometrial cancer, lung cancer, and breast cancer. Think about this. We're at our desks and our whole front line is contracted. Our breath is short. There's no breath traveling down to our lower regions because it's trapped right here because we're like this. Yeah? So we want to get long. We want to think about how we're sitting. We want full diaphragmatic breaths, and we need to get up every 5 minutes to the hour. Can you do that with me for the next 4 days? It's only 4 days. And that means also when we're sitting watching a movie with our family on the couch. That means harder when you're in a theater. I get that. Again, this is a give and a take. We need to figure it out. But if you're at home and you're watching a movie with the fam, it's ding, ding, ding. The alarm has gone off on my phone. We need to get up and move around. And we need to pattern this for our kids because we've turned into a nation of sitters. And it is negatively affecting our health. I don't want it to. For me, for you, and going to the gym is not countering the effects as much as I would like it to. So that means we need to get up and move around. I'm also going to look into a standing desk here for my work. But any suggestions that you guys have that you break up sitting, now let's talk, let me know. And also let's talk accountability. So this post here is going to be pinned for the next week. What I want you to do is take pictures of how you're breaking up your day. If you go for a walk, take a picture, post it in the comments. Let me know what you're doing. I'm going to post an office workout that you can do in the comments. I'm going to show you a yoga stress relief routine and I'll post it in the comments. And I'm going to check in the comments also. 4 days, just 4 days. Let's just do today through Friday. Let's not try a full week, though I'm hoping that what will happen is that we're going to keep doing this. But let's try this. 4 days of breaking up our sitting 5 minutes to every hour. Deal? Let me know if you have any questions. Stick them in the comments. I'm going to put in the resources in the comments, so in case you want to do a deep dive, I don't recommend it, but I will do that also. All right. Thanks. I'm excited. 4 days. Let's do this. Talk to you later. See ya.